Okay, so I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to assume that you agree with Aristotle that while tending to your bodily needs is essential, it's not enough to fully realize your telos, to actualize your telos and to realize your potential and to flourish as the thing that you are and to become the best you that you can be. I'm going to imagine that when you think of the quality of your existence and what it means to flourish, that you're thinking not just physically, but also mentally. That you would agree with Aristotle that a fundamental part of who you are and the quality of your existence is your mental life. So that when we ask a question like, what's good for a person, we're going to have to think not just about the body, but also about the mind. And this is what Aristotle said. Human beings are animals with the unique ability to think and reason. Therefore, Aristotle says, we have to concern ourselves not just with bodily needs or bodily goods, but we also have to concern ourselves with goods of the soul or goods of the mind. And so we might start thinking here about this. For you to flourish as the thinking thing that you are, for you to flourish as the feeling thing that you are, for you to flourish as the mental thing that you are, what would be the things we would want to pursue? What would be the goods of the soul? And Aristotle might throw out there, well, knowledge for one. If you don't seek knowledge, you're going to languish. Knowledge is an essential good for you to flourish as the thinking thing that you are. You have to have stuff to think about. So you're going to want to pursue knowledge. You also want to make sure that you are loved, that you experience what it's like to be loved by another. Without this, Aristotle says, your soul, your mind, your psychology is going to languish. And the flip side of that coin is also necessary, which is not only do you not need to be loved, but you also need to love. If you don't have the opportunity or the experience of loving another, you're not going to flourish as the thing that you are. You need to have some sense of belonging, that you're not alone. And if you don't have this, you're going to languish. So and we could create a kind of laundry list here of the things that you need to flourish as the thing that you are, and to realize your potential and actualize yourself. Now, this is where we take the next jump into Aristotle's ethics, right? So all he's established so far is this is the way that things seem to be. These are the conditions that seem to facilitate things flourishing. Here are the things that human beings seem to need. Okay, so let's see how this translates into an ethics. Aristotle says this. When you have to satisfy your bodily needs, there are certain things that are required of you. So if I'm trying to attain the bodily good of food, I'm going to have to go out, grab something, and I'm going to have a proper attitude towards that thing that I'm getting ready to eat. I shouldn't be, for example, running while I'm trying to eat my cheeseburger. I should be seated, and I should be calm, and I should be quiet as I eat this. That's how I'm going to satisfy that bodily need with the bodily good in the best way possible. In an analogous way, Aristotle says, well, the same thing is true for your attainment of goods of the soul. You have to have a proper orientation towards your object, towards the thing that you're trying to attain. You have to adopt a particular attitude, what he would call a virtue. You have to adopt a particular attitude toward the thing that you are attempting to attain. And if you don't, you won't be able to attain it. For example, if you're going to acquire knowledge, you have to first possess curiosity, courage, humility. Okay, you have to adopt these virtues if you're going to effectively take care of your soul and your mind by acquiring knowledge. You have to possess curiosity because otherwise you won't be motivated to go out and grab that knowledge. You have to possess courage because attaining knowledge can be scary, because you might learn things that you thought were true that are actually false, and you may learn some really uncomfortable truths. You have to adopt the virtue of humility in order to acquire knowledge, because without humility, you won't be able to recognize what it is that you don't know. So you have to adopt the attitude that I am humble, I know there are things that I don't know, and I am open to learning them. Now, similarly, Aristotle says, look, if you want to experience being loved, you have to embrace certain virtues as a prerequisite to that experience. In order to be loved, you have to embody certain virtues. Can you think of what they might be? Maybe loyalty? maybe respect, maybe honor. That these are the qualities, the virtues that you have to embody in order for someone to deem you worthy of being loved? What about to love someone else? Can you think of any virtues that would be required in order for you to attain this good of the soul? Probably have to have compassion, honesty, truthfulness, right? Think about how those virtues are essential to maximizing the amount of love that you're able to feel towards someone else. What about to belong? Are there certain virtues that you would have to embody in order for others to sort of welcome you into the group and say, you are one of us, you are with us? How about trustworthiness, friendliness? So what Aristotle is saying here is we've got these goods of the body, we know how to attain those, and we know that there are very practical and proper attitudes that we have to have as we try to attain those bodily goods. But the same is true for the goods of the soul. There are attitudes that we have to embrace. There are virtues that we have to embody in order to attain those goods of the soul. And it's only when we've attained those virtues or embraced those virtues that we can begin to attain those goods of the soul.